Brian, what's your sign? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Oh, you a Scorpio?
What is it?
I am a Scorpio.
You're a Scorpio.
That's
Okay.
okay.
I already know. I've always know who I'm working with.
What was your first impression of me when we first met?
I came back and said, he's a really nice guy. Because, you know, you see people who are so celebrated, who's so popular, and you think they got to be a certain kind of thing. And I've met some other people who had that thing, you know what I'm talking about? And I told everybody, I said,
Name.
I said, he's a really nice guy. And I could tell you had a good heart, and you know, you were sincere, and you introduced me at that event, and you took it really seriously. And I came back, I thought, I really like him. I said, it's not only is he going to be great, but I'm going to like working with him.
What was your reaction when you found out we would be working together?
Oh man, I felt the same way as he felt when I saw you. He was a nice person.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what you felt?
This little young, fresh-faced kid coming to Hollywood with his hopes and dreams and his tank top and his muscles ready to bud. I tell you what's amazing about you, Michael, and I'll echo what Brian says, is the fact that you are the biggest star on the planet, but to decide to do a movie that is so important. I was excited about the call because, you know, in our business, sometimes the celebrity can sort of overcloud the art. Mm-hmm. And the other side of it was that when you called me, it gave me an opportunity to get my artistic integrity in place. To have someone like yourself ask me to come on board with a narrative that is so important, which speaks back to the artistic sentence you started in Fruitville Station, and then on to Black Panther, and the narrative that you give us for our culture is amazing. And people are now getting a chance to see what you guys wanted them to see, and I sneak in the back of the theaters, and people are cheering. It's amazing. And it's so amazing. So I felt humble, and I felt honored, and at the same time, we've had a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. All right, well, what did you learn from your character you played in Just Mercy?
Well, I mean, you know, being a black man in America, the lessons that you continue to learn is what is interesting and saddening at the same time. We thought we had this figured out. So I learned that there's still huge amounts of work to do.
Yeah.
From listening to my father, who was incarcerated for a small amount of $25 worth of illegal substance for 7 years, watching him watch the movie. The lessons that I continue to learn is that we can't fatigue like this man. He doesn't fatigue, and like you don't fatigue, and even in your artistic interpretation, you don't fatigue in saying we still need to talk about these things, and let's not get tired of it.
What do you want people to take away from Just Mercy?
I want them to understand that we are dealing with a crisis in America because we tolerate too much inequality, too much injustice. The wrongful conviction that Jamie portrays so brilliantly in his performance as Walter McMillan is too familiar. And I want people to know we've got to do better when it comes to treating people fairly, to having a system that's reliable. And we've got to care more about overcoming this history of racial injustice and racial inequality. We're not where we need to be yet, and we've got more work to do. To both of you, what role do you most admire from one another?
I'm gonna say Collateral. That was when I saw him most not like himself. Like naturally, you know, we always bring a piece of our personality to the character, but to see him reserved, very naive, very caught off guard, but then still trying to formulate a plan and to build that courage that he had over time, you know, and to see that the work that him and Jada did was incredible with him and Tom. I think that as a whole, it was a really powerful performance, and I thought it was like super layered.
Yeah.
It's tough because I speak all the time about I would have almost go Fruitville Panther because I love those performances. In Fruitville, however, I felt like this person exists somewhere. I didn't feel like Michael B. Jordan was portraying anything. I felt like this guy exist. What you did on that was a crescendo.
Yeah.
Because we already know the story, but the way you played it, kudos forever. And I tell you, there's a huge reward coming for you with everything else that you take on because of that role.
Yeah.
Bryan, what aspects from Just Mercy still resonate in today's society?
I think everything. I mean, we still have a presumption of dangerousness and guilt that gets assigned to black and brown people. We still have innocent people in our jails and prisons. We still have people in power who abuse that power. We still don't have accountability with some of these folks who need more accountability. And we still have a criminal justice system that treats you better if you're rich and guilty than if you're poor and innocent. So all of the conditions that gave rise to the story in Just Mercy are still with us today. The one change is that I think there's a bigger community of people who are trying to respond to it, and that's what gives me hope.